Nikhil. Nikhil. Hey, Nikhil. Do-do-do. Hey, Nikhil, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey. Hey, you know Rohit Agarwal?
Yes, sir. He's also from our college here in Jaipur.
Very cool. Yeah. Rohit and I got a chance to meet for a while earlier today. It was nice.
I think he got to know you from Kunjana and Ashish.
Hey, this is nice. This is good. Hey, do you have is the air conditioner on, or it's just a fan? Okay.
Just a fan.
Oh, just a fan. Okay. Hey, I gotta tell you, man, it's about 9 o'clock in the morning here, and I'm already having a Red Bull.
Red Bull.
Which is that's not good. That's not a good sign.
I can see it. It's 7:32 in the evening.
Oh yeah.
In India right now. And it's really, really humid.
Is it? Yeah.
Extremely hot.
Yeah. Yeah, and it makes everything so uncomfortable when you're just sticky. It's like and wet, sweaty.
Yeah, correct. Yes.
Hey, Garish. Good morning. Okay, I guess he's not on yet. But Nikhil, let's start talking, man. Let's use the time.
Yes, sure.
Before I bring up any topics, do you have things that you want to bring up or
regarding
things
that post notification? Yeah. Am I audible?
You are now. Yeah.
The toast notification issue. I tried to change the color of the notification, but it wasn't happening. So there is one thing I think I can come up with, that the notification color can be changed to blue. That is already set in the snackbar wrapper.js. So instead of gray, it can be turned to blue with the info icon, and the toast notification. Whenever suppose I applied it on when Kubernetes was validated. There's a notification is showing that Kubernetes is now validated or Kubernetes is now removed.
Okay. Do you happen to? So great. So Subham is here and Anand is here. Excellent.
Hey, hi.
Hey.
I think my voice is clear today.
It's better. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Hey. Hey, Subham. And Madhav is joining. Excellent. So Nikhil, in the meantime, are you able to share the thing that you're working on? Like share the problem so that everybody can kind of see it.
Yeah, actually I could have, but the VMware of my computer is giving me some issues. So I tried to restart it before the meeting. It got hanged in the middle. So now it's restarting. It will take some time. Otherwise I would have said. I was reading it for the MIDI goal, but due to some issue, it got stuck in middle. I will not be able to say it.
Got it. Yeah, that happens. That happens all the time. Of course, it happens like that, right? Well, then I'll just familiarize everyone with the issue that you're working on. And while I do that, I'll say, welcome, Madhab. Good to have you as well. So, all right. So if you guys remember, one of the issues that we had identified, I think, was, well, it was the type of notifications that were coming up here. So let me see if I can reproduce the issue. In cluster config, that's not right. Hold on. Huh. Garish, do you know what's going on in this environment?
It's been a while I jumped there, but you know what? Like, can you go? I mean, what are you trying to reproduce? Like,
To just show everyone the issue that Nikhil is working on, which is.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So if you, I mean, you should. Can you go inside the settings and add the adapter? Like, I mean, just add an adapter. Yeah. Pick one. Click submit. Okay. Now, if you go back to the Meshery Istio, yeah. If you go to any of the management areas, and then try to submit an operation, you will see, how it behaves.
Cool. Okay. So I think
they're right there. So this is kind of what I think Nikhil was working on changing. Instead of a green icon to show that the operation was submitted, change the color. Is that right, Nikhil?
Yeah. So yeah. Okay.
Nice. Okay. So Nikhil, you just said that. Look, for sure, you're able to change it from green to, I think, blue is what you're saying?
Yes, correct. So blue.
Lee, can you actually open a separate tab and go to the Material UI page? Just go to the Material UI page. I mean, so this is what I pointed Nikhil to. I was showing him. Go to the components, and then look for I forgot the
snack bar. Snack bar. Snack bar, sir. Is it snack bar?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you just search for snack bar?
Okay, yeah. I'm just having a hard time finding. There it is.
I know. Yeah. Okay, now can you come down? Okay, come down. Yeah, there you go. So these are the 4 variants. Yeah. So the green is for success. Orange is for warning. The red is for error. Now there is this other blue one, which is actually the the info. And then there is this other black one, which if you scroll down, can you scroll down a bit? Right there. So these are the black ones. So this is okay, so you create a snack bar, but you don't associate a type, like a variant with it. It will show it in black. So these are the colors, Nikhil can actually produce, right there. So it's either a black one or a blue one to show that it is an info and not a success. So now this is kind of the right way to do it, which is change the variant or take out the variant in that particular context. But if you want a specific color, then we will have to kind of do it in a hacky way, because in the world of React, so the CSS for that component is kind of tied within that component. I mean, it's not that we cannot change, we can overwrite it, but yes, we have to go looking for that. So out of the box, these are the colors you get. So green is the one we're using now, which also means success. So if we don't want that, I think either a blue or a black will be kind of the out of box options.
Yeah. So actually, the thing that you said, I tried to add a new variant in that JS file. namely anything. I tried to add a new variant with the color gray and the info icon. I imported the color using that material UI and gray color too. But when I tried to implement that variant in the other JS file, it wasn't coming. Still, the sidebar was coming in black color. That is the problem. But when I tried to change the variant to success, error, warning, and one other was there, I don't remember the name. The four are there, pre-built. The fours are working.
Yeah, the other one is the info. So yeah, gotcha. So I mean, like, yeah. So it's picking up the default variants, but not your custom changes. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
so the question to Lee is like, do we want to go ahead further customize it, or are we okay with the default variants?
Let me share something with you. Okay, so hopefully you guys are seeing my screen. This is actually just a screenshot of what I was just sharing. So now I grabbed a copy of the message. And so I think it generally comes about here in the UI, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, slightly above, but yeah, I mean, like, I mean, we get your point. Yeah.
I gotta say, yeah, right. Yeah, Well, we definitely want it associated with a type. Info is appropriate. That's exactly what this is. It's just an acknowledgement that you clicked a button and the system is going to do something. Blue right now most closely associates with Istio, because Istio's colors are blue and white. I guess, like, yeah, I mean, yeah, this is, I mean, we could do two things. We could do one step where we change it to blue, which is a step forward. That's better than having it as green. It's better than having a success. We can have an info with blue. That's better. We could then, after that pull request has landed, go back and try to customize to get to a much like lighter gray or a darker gray or something that is something that doesn't look just like we're using material UI and we haven't taken the time to customize it. It'll be a better user experience if it's less in your face, if it's less of a notification that like flashes in your face, and the blue kind of does because you don't see it anywhere else. And it will also be nice if it's not blue, because we don't want it to look like it's just some simple material UI app that is just like all the other 1,000 simple material UI apps, if you know what I mean. Like, we want it to be a custom experience that is custom suited for this color scheme. I will tell you guys that, hey, the color scheme might change later, probably not for some time. And so actually getting used to creating custom color schemes is a good skill for us to have. So I do think that it is worth it to continue to work on getting a gray color into here. As an intermediary step, I think we can go ahead and switch from green to blue, take that next step and move from blue to gray.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, yeah, that's good. This is going to have a good impact. Right now it's confusing, not a good user experience. Nice, okay. Anything else, Nikhil?
No, sir, done.
Okay. All right. Anand and Subham and Madhav, anything that you guys want to bring up.
Yes, the issue is that my audio is clear today.
It is.
Oh, that's good. Actually, I was saying that the two issues that I have been assigned, I got stuck on both of them after certain steps or guide. Uh, I will start with the issue that Sako assigned, opened it, and you assigned me. I am saying my screen. Okay.
Okay. Good. We can see your screen.
My screen is visible.
Yes.
Uh, Actually, I don't have any idea about this sample application Google to use. I I jumped to this site. Uh, I have gone through this readme.md file, but I didn't get much idea how I can start with this issue. I talked to with Sako. He told me that I should join on Wednesday. So thought I should ask.
Yeah, good question. If you scroll down a little bit, I
Yeah.
wonder if the application has to have some additional supporting infrastructure, like anything outside of what you can run in Kubernetes. My hunch is that it will run. Yeah, see right there where it says on that under the features, that first bullet, it says the app is designed to run on Kubernetes, both locally on Docker desktop as well as on Cloud GKE. So that's a good sign. This app was intended to run just like other sample apps and not requiring a bunch of other cloud services and things. So under that second section where it's the installation section, it says we offer 3 installation methods. The one that we're going to be interested in for inclusion of Meshery is likely going to be the first one, which is going to be a set of YAML that hopefully we just apply to the cluster. Now, yeah, we don't care if users are running Docker for desktop or if they're running Kubernetes in GKE. But what we the thing that we generally want to do is to have the application's YAML file, to have its manifests within Meshery. When someone says they want to install this microservices demo sample app, Meshery would reach out to GitHub, grab the manifests from this repository. You know, the Meshery Go code would pull those down from GitHub, and then it would interface with Kubernetes and apply the manifests to the default namespace, or it would just apply the manifests. Where you can see good examples of that flow. Okay, so actually before we get into the Meshery code, I think it's probably good for you to just take and run this sample app on your local Kubernetes environment outside of Meshery, just to understand it a little bit better. And in order to do that, yeah, you would follow the instructions in option 1.
Should I have to do now?
Well, so Garish, let me ask you this. The only thing that's slightly different here is on step number 4. They're talking about they want for you to do a scaffold run, and that's how they want you to deploy the app. And so I was hoping that they weren't necessarily bringing in another tool
Right. So it looks like they are like, I mean, so scaffold is, you can think of it like, it'll take a, kind of specific variables, apply it on kind of a general YAML and kind of give a new YAML. I mean, scaffold run will actually do deployment, but I think you can also get a YAML out of it. Like, I haven't played with scaffold, but I can definitely look into it. Like, if you guys want me to.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, let's look around the GitHub repo right now. If they don't, because we don't want for users to, we don't want for it to take 20 minutes to deploy the sample app, ideally. And I don't know why users would really need to build their own images. And so ideally we wouldn't use scaffold, we would just find the manifest. And so Subham, can you look through some of the rest of the code in this repo? See if you find some YAML files.
Yeah, sure. These two?
Well, yep, so that one's for scaffold and that one's for cloud. But so those are not the two, but where it says Kubernetes manifests, that folder.
Right. So the only thing they are doing with the scaffold command is actually injecting the right image tags is kind of what they say in that other folder.
If we use latest.
Right. I think if we use the latest, I think we should be okay. Because each of the YAMLs seems to be, I mean, it looks like it's valid. There are no variables of any kind.
Okay, actually, okay, good. If you scroll down to the README, the very bottom, I'm sorry. If you go back to the Kubernetes manifests folder,
Yeah.
and scroll down on the bottom, it has a link to the releases page. It says that the manifests here, that one right there, that Kubernetes manifest, that file, that should be good enough. This should be what we would be looking for. And we should be able to just apply this to the cluster and have the app run. Okay, so having identified like the file that we're going to use to deploy the application, Garish, do you want to point Subham to code inside of one of the adapters that facilitates this type of a deployment? You know, that uses the...
I will.
Okay, and actually, maybe it would be nice if we could do it on this call, but maybe since that's going to take a little while, maybe if you get that ready, and we can talk with Anand and Madhav and circle back if we have time. Okay, good. Subham, did you want to talk about your other issue real quick?
Oh, yeah. In this issue, I tried this. I have created the Slack app, and in this step, using the action, I don't find where I have to copy the oath and permissions in the GitHub. Here it is written that to use GitHub action. My audio is coming now.
Yep, it is.
Okay. To use GitHub action, you will need a Slack bot token. I have got the Slack bot token, but I don't know where I have to paste it.
So if you go into GitHub to your user account, like your profile, and if you click on your picture in the upper, in the upper right-hand corner and go to settings, actually, I think if you go down to either applications or developer settings. Yeah. And then if you go to, yeah, yep, authorized OAuth apps. Yeah. When you, so you created a Slack app, I think in Slack, right? And you haven't created.
Yes, sir.
So I guess actually I'm leading you down the wrong path then. I guess if you go to developer settings, I think this is where we're going to find it. It's asking you, so yeah, actually maybe, so yeah, if you go to personal access tokens or OAuth apps, it's, sorry, it's probably OAuth apps. Wow. This is probably the area that you're looking for, I'm guessing.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So I'm sorry. What was that word?
Yeah, go. Maybe if you go back to the instructions, the GitHub Actions instructions. Yeah. Okay. So.
Okay.
So in this.
So what's your question? So you, if I understood, like you said, you already have.
Yes, sir. Continue, sir.
Oh, right. Okay, I got you. So yes. Okay, I'm sorry. Like I think what Leo's probably saying is more right.
Well, I guess.
Okay. Hold on. So Subham, if I understood correctly, like you said, you do have a Slackbot token. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, I think I have.
Okay. If you have a Slackbot token, you need to say. Okay, so can you share your? I mean, can you show us how you got your Slackbot token?
Sir, I don't remember currently. Actually, I was working on this issue approximately 3 to 4 days ago.
Okay, no problem. I mean, so you do have a token, right? I mean, you're sure you do have the right Slackbot token. Is that correct?
Actually, sure. Yes, sir. Actually, I remember where I got that. In somewhere.
So, based on what it was just saying there, assuming that you do have a token, which you probably do, I think I was pointing you maybe to the wrong location. It was close to where you need to go, but reading the instructions again, Subham, if you go back to your personal settings in your GitHub account, rather than going to the developer settings, if you go back to settings, yeah, and then you go to secrets.
No. So the secrets is actually in the repository settings. So I'm not sure he has access to it. I mean, that's probably one of the challenges he was running into.
So Subham, you may have to create a test repository for yourself.
Sorry. Actually, I created a test demo app, and I am not able to open this app. Actually, I somewhere in this link only I got the Slackbot token for this.
Okay. Can you go to the bot users? Okay. So that's the bot user. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right there, the bot us. Yeah, gotcha. So what do you have to do is now, can you go back to your repository, the repository where you're working? The GitHub repository where you're working.
this repo, sir?
To your test repository, actually.
Yeah.
So sorry, I'm not getting.
So if you go back in your browser, if you click back on the browser, or yeah, you know, actually, maybe I'll just share real quick to
Yeah, sure.
help show you. Okay. So if you're seeing my screen, I'm signed in as Lee.
Yes,
I can go to my profile or my repositories. So I'm on my page. I have a repository called Talks. It's just a repository that I made a long time ago. And it's just a personal repository. You can make as many personal repositories as you want to. They're free. They'll be public. But if you make a test one, I have one, so you can have one called test or what have you. When you go to it, you should hopefully, and maybe you wouldn't, but hopefully you would see an actions section. In the actions section, oh, damn it. Why does this happen? I'm sorry. Okay, I'm misleading you. All right.
Can you go to the settings?
You go to a repo, then you go to settings, then you will see secrets.
Yeah, and this is where you have to store your Slackbot token with the right key.
Okay, thank you, sir. I have one doubt, sir. Actually, this action section, my audio is coming.
Yep.
This action is not for all because somewhere while doing this issue, I have to apply for beta version of desktop GitHub to use this GitHub actions. So I'm not sure I will get this. I got the mail that I have applied for GitHub beta version, but I'm not sure that I will get that action.
Right. So I think we have a test repository that we can that you can use to do the development against, and then once it works, then we can just move your workflow to the rest. And so the test repository is this one. It's just an abbreviation. It's L5 actions, and what we can do is make sure that you've got administrative access to be able to put in a new secret, the Slack bot token, and you can use this repository as your development environment.
Okay, so I will use this.
Nice. Okay. Since we have all of 6 minutes left, Anand and Madhav, what do you guys have?
Me, actually, I was working on the Loggers. I was switching FMT to Loggers. Yesterday, I asked Kirish for log or Loggers, so he told me to switch to Loggers. While changing to Loggers, there was a problem. There, when we were using,
Yeah. What was the problem in switching to Logos?
in start.go, there is a statement start.std out is equal to ampersand out. So Girish told me to switch all the FMT or standard out input to Logos. So when I changed it to Logos, there was a problem. The message was not showing. Just beneath it, I think from bottom sixth line, start.std out and error. line number 48 and 47. Yeah. So I changed this to CM, C, CMD, error to start.output, and then I printed the output and the error message. So while using Locus, there was a problem. It was not showing the output, and the other problem was we have, while I was using Docker client, the API was showing some issues. Just the client version 1.41 is too new. The maximum support of API version is 1.40. So that was another issue that I was stuck with. I think that issue was resolved, but I guess I have to check it by Girish so that we can verify whether it will work on other machines or not.
Girish, go ahead. Did you have an example Logos?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Anand. I couldn't. I was hardly hearing you.
Yeah,
So
his issue is
all he needs is an example. Then if he can go inside any of the Meshery code, not the Meshery CTL, if he can go to any of the Meshery code, he will find like for example, you can start off with either a main or just go inside like router or any go inside that. Like I'm pretty sure you should find some loggers there. Yeah, exactly. Like so line number 41, for examable, like you can see the logrest.fatal. Line 54 is an example, and so on and so on. Like line 45 is an example. So logrest is all over Meshery.
Okay. There was a function that logos.print, just logos.print simply. So it was just printing like FMT. So we should use that, or we should use there's another one like info.
Oh, I see. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, okay. If you could change your print statements, like the logrest.print statements to logrest.info debug, that'll be helpful because it'll help us to control, like, whether it is in debug mode or not, right? Like, like for example, so Lee is pointing out like 47. So you can see that this way I can set the debug level. So which means, if you use info, it'll get printed. But if the debug level is off, then the debug statements will not print. That's kind of good. So you can do a differentiation between development and production. So it'll be nice if you can use a debug or info accordingly rather than a println. If that's your question.
Okay. The other problem that was of Docker client that I faced was that the client version 1.40 is too 1.41 is too new. Maximum support API version is 1.7. Sorry, 1.40. So that was another problem that I faced during connecting to my Docker API in Go. I think I rechecked it and I fixed it, but I think I should show you the code before I push it. I think it will be beneficial if you review it first, so that it will work on the tool.
Yeah, are you able to show the code now?
Okay.
Lee, we only have 3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So
okay. So really quick then, Madhav, so Anand, you can certainly push the code and we could review it, kind of there. We might be able to.
Yeah. Sure.
But Madhav, want to make sure that you get some time as well.
Yeah. I'm working with the issue of the BTC community section. So I quickly want to share the screen. So I hopefully everyone can see my screen.
Yeah.
So I'm working on this section, on clean section. So these are the icons, I believe, which will work fine. And I will remove those lines over here and keep those links in this side of the area. Pops up when the person's hovers in this section, it will automatically pops up, and there will be all the links which will join all the files. So this is the section which I'm working now. So I think it will be appropriate design, or do you want any changes over here?
This does achieve the effect of it being much more engaging and much more sort of interesting to look at. I think one of the challenges we'll have is, oh boy, we're gonna run out of time. Is the style that's there is they are significantly divergent from the rest of the site, which might be a bit jarring as people another challenge that they might have is that when you hover, the compass that you're using, I don't know that as a user I would readily understand.
No, I will change this icon. This is not a good icon. I will change it later. Just few more steps are required to change this. I will change it.
You know what you could do? Yeah, maybe if you use the same social icons that we're using already and put them into this style of interaction,
yeah,
it might work. It might, but that would be, and then if you can, try to get them all on the same line or what have you. It worked because just down below, just underneath this square, you might be able to use like a word like meetings